Good morning. Welcome. Today is Thursday, February 21st, 2019. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. I'm feeling silly this morning. Watch out. I like my beard when I trim this part shorter. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. Then I should probably shave, but I'm not going to. I'll probably push it one more day. So, let's see. I think the first thing to let you know is that we dropped a really fun episode of Martial Arts Radio today. One that I wanted to do a while ago, but it took a while to get it done. It's on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Episode was at 373. And you can find that here on YouTube at whistlekickmartialartsradio.com or anywhere that you download podcasts. It's going to be a fun episode. I think people are really going to like it. I enjoyed doing it. That's one of the fun things about doing that show, especially on the research side, is that I learn a ton. You know, when I sit down, when I do this show, I don't learn anything. I mean, it allows me to reflect on my thoughts. But if no one watched this, I wouldn't do it. If I didn't believe this would have a positive impact on the business long term, I wouldn't do it. Martial Arts Radio, I don't care. It's fun, and I learn, and I make connections with people. It's great. One of the things I'm trying to do right now is get myself booked as a guest on other podcasts, martial arts podcasts and non-martial arts podcasts. Because let's face it, I can talk about more than martial arts. I can talk about personal growth. I can talk about business. I can talk about motivation. I can talk, to a certain degree, about fitness and health and athletic performance. I know some stuff. And sometimes people want to hear my stuff. And I got hiccups for some reason. Sometimes people want to hear my stuff, and it should help. Let's look at grow. So I'm trying to do that. What else going on? I thought I might have to go away this weekend related to work stuff that did not go the way it was supposed to. And I don't, and so that's great. It's mixed. It delays some things that I didn't want to delay. But it means that tomorrow I am working from home, and the things that I didn't get to yesterday, plus many more, will be done. Yay! Super exciting. Let's see. What did I talk about in the Ninja Turtles episode or what didn't I talk about, I guess? Oh, so Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles, for me, validated using martial arts weapons. When I started to compete again in my, let's see, how old was I? 13, 14? I started to compete again, and I used Sai, because nobody used Sai on the circuits I was competing on. Everyone was using bow, and you would get lost because everyone was doing roughly the same thing. And so I didn't want to use Tunfa, which was our second kind of most traditional, generally used weapon in the school, because Tunfa is boring. I understand the practical usage of it. Oh my god, it's the most boring weapon. It's just, ugh. At the time, I don't remember anybody doing anything flashy with nunchucks. So that wasn't an option. So one of my instructors had some skill, some knowledge with Sai. So she taught me that. I learned that, practiced that, and adapted because she didn't know any forms. We didn't have anybody to teach me. So we adapted MP into using Psi. Came up pretty good. Still remember it. Still a fun form. Yeah, I did that for a couple years. And then I got bored of that. I just wanted to mix it up. So I started using Sword. So I did a bunch of research because, again, didn't have anybody to teach me. The thing about Sword is there are only so many ways you can use it. And I made a form. I'm trying to remember what the name was. I had some Japanese name. What did it mean in English? I don't know. It was like dragon something or other. Pretty sure dragon was in there. And I would wear a hakama, and I would compete with that, and I did pretty well. And I remember that to keep the balance right, I would keep my hand up by the what's the guard called? Ebu? If people are watching and they know the names of the particular parts of a sword, you're probably going to hate me because I don't remember them. But that guard, I would keep my hand up close to it. Here, I'll put the coffee down. And it was textured, and so by the end of the form, this part of my hand would be all scraped up and bleeding. Super cool. Yeah, sword's fun. Weapons are fun. One of my favorite things about martial arts, I've talked about this numerous times, I'll continue to talk about it, is that no matter what resonates for you, there's something in there. There's something in martial arts that will click for you, whether it's forms or sparring or basics or teaching or weapons or competition or self-defense or breaking or tricking. Oh, there's just so much. There's so much under that heading. And I just wish everybody would stop looking at each other and go, "That's not martial arts." You know, I'm feeling goofy if I'm using voices. Coffee is good. This is some manner of handmade mug. It was a gift. I can't properly look at the bottom without dumping coffee on myself. So what's going on today? Today, driving, consulting, selling things on the internet. I have a massage this evening. That's going to be great. And then spending some time with friends. Actually, headed to Mr. Daniel Hart's house. If you are a long-running fan of martial arts radio, you know that he has been on the show like 4 times. I interviewed him, he interviewed me. He was around for episode 200. I don't remember if he was here for episode 300. I don't think so. So was that 3 times? And he's having some folks over, and since I'm already going to be nearby, I'm going to drop in. Hang out. Case. So today, as you go through your day, here's the thing that's on me. The thing that's weighing on my mind, and I will share this with you. I'm not going to get into specifics, but there's some things happening behind the scenes that I'm frustrated with because of the timetable. It's easy when something is within our control, when we have to do the work to get it done, to look at it and be comfortable with, this is going to take, a week. This is going to take whatever it is. This is going to take some time because it's your time. But when it's someone else's time, when it's not yours, but when it impacts you, it can be really frustrating that it's not done immediately. And that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. I've got one of our subcontractors needs to get something for another subcontractor. And the first version was just rubbish. So I have to wait. I'm frustrated because the one who has to do the thing isn't the one that screwed up. They have to prove to the other one that they screwed up. So here's my advice. One of the things I observed in business years ago was that the further you get into business, the longer a business is established, the greater the periods of time you have to evaluate from. So like if I was to start a business, let's say I start, Coffee Drinking Inc., First Cup LLC, whatever, right now, there are a lot of things that I could do that would make an impact. I could go make a Facebook page and a YouTube page and make a simple website. I could get a ton in an hour. But once that business grows and gets more established, the things that you do take longer. The things to see an impact that happen take longer, and you have to wait longer to see their impact. And I think you can say the same thing about training. You step in to a new school, a new style, you're likely to be a lot better at the end of a class than you were at the beginning of class. But if you've been training for 40 years, or 10 years, or 3 years, there's not going to be much difference class to class. Once in a while you might have a breakthrough, but usually it's slow incremental progress. And the speed seems to slow down the longer the time you have. I think you can say the same thing about nearly everything. If you've ever had a child, I have not, but if you've ever watched a child develop, you can see that early on you can see changes, across days and weeks. But as that child gets older, if we're talking about the physical development, maybe not the best analogy, you'll see that it takes longer for that child to have some kind of physical development. Oh, you grew an inch this year versus, wow, look at all that you grew in 10 months when you were conceived. Stuff like that. I clearly need more coffee. I'm going to have like 3 sips. This should be called Jeremy Holds a Cup of Coffee podcast, show, vlog. All right, I'm going to go. I'm just ridiculous now. So I want you to remember that. As you go through your day, your life, I want you to remember that even though you want things to happen now, they are. They're just happening slowly. And the outcome or the progress, you just have to take a step back to realize that it's happening. And sometimes you just have to trust the process. I do not do well with that, but I'm getting better. I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, we do these shows every weekday morning. I got it today. 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time here on YouTube, and you can find it later on other stuff. And if you're looking for how to subscribe to the audio feeds, best way, go to firstcupwithjeremy.com, and we've got links to Spotify, Apple, Google, Breaker, and like 1 or 2 other weird ones that I've never heard of. So check that out. Have a wonderful day. I will